Hi, I'm Joe Konkoly here at Elderly Instruments with good friend Joshua Davis, and we're here today to look at this amazing Martin D-28 SL. It's the one and only left-handed Martin D-28 pre-war, and we had to do quite a few repairs on it, but most of them were pretty standard stuff, especially for a guitar that has been so well played in.
Yeah, I'm happy to have been invited in here to do this because it's like playing a piece of history. You know, when I got my hands on the neck for the first time, it's like you can feel all the years in here, and I love that about it. The neck just feels great. It feels like that's how it's supposed to feel after, you know, playing such a historic instrument.
For starters, where you're putting your hands, there are like actual divots right where he's putting his thumb. So I imagine Lefty, the gentleman who I used to own the guitar, played right in that position.
As a left-hander, you know, and for all you left-handers out there, it's, I mean, Elderly Instruments is a store that I've always come to because, you know, they carry some lefties, and almost every other music store I go to around the country, and I do a lot of traveling, doesn't have any. To come from that experience for years and years and years, and to be able to get my hands on a guitar like this is really, it's kind of like a dream. It's wild. I can't explain it really, because we just don't have this kind of history as left-handers. We don't have anything like this, you know. At least I haven't ever played anything like this, and it's really, really fun. It plays beautifully. I mean, it sounds like a cannon. But it's also sweet. It's great for strumming. I was playing it fingerstyle. It's beautiful for that. I had a tendency to lean towards smaller guitars, but the size of this, and I've never played one of these guitars, but the size of it, you know, it seemed to fit just right in there. Yeah, it's been a joy. It really has. It's such a cool thing. I mean, if this guitar could tell the stories, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure it has a few.
Yeah.
The repairs, some of them were pretty standard. Neck reset and refret, not unusual for a guitar this age. The bridge was mostly functional, but it had a number of different issues, so we put a new bridge on it, and some of those issues that the bridge had were also reflected in the bridge plate. Different holes and stuff that had to be patched and repaired and cleaned up, so there's some interior stuff going on. I think there's a crack down here and a pickguard crack, and we had to reglue the pickguard, but all pretty standard stuff. The peghead is very interesting in of itself, for starters, because it's not the standard Martin shape, and that's part of the story. It is somewhat like a Martin mandolin, but originally, when the guitar was built, the owner had a friend who had come up with a device, a fine-tuning device that was mounted on the peghead right here. Part of the design of the fine-tuning device was it had to go with a certain set of tuners and have a certain shape to the peghead for it to all work out. So they agreed to do that custom peghead for the fine-tuners, and that's what this little plate is from, that tuning device. At some point, the peghead broke. Tuning device went away, and the peghead was repaired with a new set of tuners on it. And that's still holding up great. Happened a long time ago. There was a teeny little piece of material missing from the sound hole there that I was able to replace and get it up to snuff with a new set of frets and a new neck angle and a new bridge and a new saddle. The same hand that created these divots created massive divots all the way along the first through the 7th fret in the fingerboard. Removing that, sanding out those divots also fit right in with what I needed to do to make the neck nice and straight with just minimal relief. which is part of the refret job, as big a part as the refret job as the new frets. And another part of it was that the inlays were divoted also. You must have had some nails or something, but I think you just played the heck out of it for years and years, all the time as a working musician.
And Stan mentioned earlier that you guys had the whole story on this guitar, which is also, I think, such a cool thing to know who owned it and to know. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I can. The owner was a professional player, like a regional star in several different regions across the country, probably over a 30 or 40 year career. And he was working with one band leader through that whole thing. So they were the two guys that were in all the pictures, the band leader and his lefty guitar player. And the family had a scrapbook, literally this thick. With photos from his whole career, featuring this guitar in several different situations, sharing the stage with country stars of the era. And before his passing, they got him to look through the scrapbook, and they audio taped him reminiscing over that whole career through the scrapbook. So that is also part of the record. So we got just a wonderful walk through regional country music history, several different areas of the country, and what part this guitar played. Very cool. That
is really cool. I'm kind of a history freak too, so that like totally just
It really places this instrument in a real life situation over a number of years. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's amazing that it's been it's been loved on so much.